welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, hello, my name is Mika. Thank you so much for stopping in. So let's talk about thinking it's your job to save other people. We get in this myth sometimes, especially as women, where we feel like I have to save this person. I heard this person had a bad upbringing. I heard this person just got through a bad relationship. They had friends that stabbed them in the back before. They just need to be shown love. But what we don't realize is that we can't save anyone. We can't even save ourselves. That's why we have higher beings and higher beliefs, because we can't do it ourselves. So if it takes God or the universe or whatever our higher belief is to save us, what makes you think that you have the strength and the capacity to save somebody else? And when you start to do that, that's when a lot of times people, men and women, mostly women, become doormats, or they get in situations where they feel like they're pouring out everything. They're emptying their glass into somebody else's glass. And then once that other person feels back to where they feel energy and they feel happy and, you know, their life is flourishing, then you feel drained. You feel unhappy. You feel like, what happened? Now this person's happy and they're leaving me, or now they don't want anything to do with me, or maybe now they stab me in the back, or they do the same thing that they said happened to them to me. Why? The reason is because you can't save anybody. And if you're willing to lay down your life for somebody, if you're willing to give somebody all the energy that you have, all the work you've done on yourself, if you're willing to pour that into somebody else, that's beautiful. But if they're not willing to do it for themselves, if they're not willing to meet you halfway, if they're not willing to put in the same work, you can't be the one that's just pulling them along on the string. You can't do that, because what they're going to do is take you for granted. They're going to look at you like their meal ticket. They're going to look at you as someone who's going to always be there, be supportive of them, but they don't have to give back. And once they are on their feet, when they feel stronger and they feel like they actually have what they need in order to give back to someone else or something else, they're going to divert their attention from you to that other thing that they feel like, okay, now I am at a level where I can finally get this, or this person will finally be interested in me. We have to be careful with that. We have to be careful with thinking that it's our job. It's not your job to save anyone. If you need to save anybody, you need to be trying to save yourself, not someone else. We learn this all the time. I'm sure you guys heard it a lot of times. Even when you're on a flight, they tell you, in case of an emergency, if the plane starts to go down, you are supposed to put the mask on yourself, that air mask that falls from the cabin, the top ceilings, whatever you want to call it. You're supposed to put it on yourself before you put it on somebody else. That means you are not supposed to be worrying about trying to save someone else, making sure they're good, and you're just allowing yourself to die. We have to just back up some. It's okay to help people. I'm not saying don't help anybody. By all means, help as many people as you can. I feel like, you know, each one teach one. You know, that saying went for school, but I say it in every aspect of life. Each one teach one. If you know something I don't, if you know I do something a little bit better than I do, whatever it is, I'm open and willing to listen and learn from you. And I'm willing to teach the next person. But I'm not willing to live your life for you. I'm not willing to drag you along and, you know, this is what you do. You're not a child. I mean, if you're a child, that's one thing. But if you're a whole adult, and let's say I'm trying to be in a relationship with you, I'm not making it my responsibility to make sure you're happy, to make sure you're fed, to make sure you're clothed, to make sure you have a flow of income. That's not my job. And neither is it my boyfriend's job to do that for me. That's how I look at it. And same for my friendships. It's not my friend's job to make sure that Mika's okay. And it's not Mika's job to make sure that they're okay. Now, if they need advice for something, or if they need, you know, hey girl, I need to borrow, you know, X amount of money, or I need someone to watch my kids or something like that, that's different. But me just going out of my way, trying to save them, making their life a lot easier, that's not my job, because I can't save you. And that's what you all need to think. If someone is in your life and they're begging for you to save them, and they're not your children, not your grown children, your children, then you need to reevaluate that situation, because there's no reason that you should be trying to put on a cape for grown people. That's not your job. You can't save nobody. Our higher beings are the only ones that can save us. The only ones. You cannot save nobody. Don't waste your time and energy. Don't, go above and beyond trying to make sure that someone has this outstanding lifestyle and they're happy and all these great things are going on if they're not willing to do it for themselves. The point I'm trying to make. You can help somebody who is willing to put in the work to help themselves. But people who are just always coming to you crying, talking about how unhappy they are, they're not doing anything, they're complaining about their jobs, they're not willing to get a job, or they're not willing to get a better job, they're not willing to get out of a toxic relationship, they're not willing to, be a better person, they're not willing to show up as their best selves in the world. They're not willing to do it, but they want you to figure out a way to make it possible, make it happen for them. Y'all really need to think about that. Stop thinking you can save people. Stop thinking you can pull people on your level, because a lot of times, wherever we're at in life, wherever God is taking us, it doesn't necessarily mean that everybody who was connected to you are meant to be on that same level. It doesn't mean that every step you make, your friends are supposed to make. Every step you make, your husband is supposed to make. Every step you make, your wife is supposed to make. That's not what that means. Sometimes you outgrow people. And sometimes you're just an example to show people that it's possible. And if they're willing to do the work, if they're truly genuinely coming to you and asking for help, that's one thing. But if they're coming to you trying to mooch off of you, trying to drain you of your energy, trying to steal whatever you worked hard to get to, wherever God is taking you, you need to cut them off. But that's just my take on it, just something I've been thinking about, and something that I know I've allowed myself to do a lot of times, sitting back, trying to save everybody, trying to make everybody's life as easy as mine. But then I had to realize the reason my life is the way it is because I had to sacrifice. I've had to go through hard times. I've had to, make it happen. I've had to surrender myself to my higher being in order to be in position to elevate. And if another person is not willing to do that, they think they can just walk into my life and just get on my level without doing any work. No way. No way. That's not fair to me. And that's not fair to that person, because that person needs to learn too that nothing in life is free. But that's just my opinion. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments below. We'll continue the conversation. And we will talk next time. Bye.